Hi, everybody. Welcome to Table for Two. I'm Onezie.
And I'm the Elusive Bigfoot.
Today we're talking about our top 5 games for game night or group games.
Yeah. So these games are not in any particular order except for the last one, which will be our number one game.
All right, so why don't you start us off?
Alrighty. So when I was looking at this list for game night or group games, I was looking at what is a game that is easy to get to the table, as well as not too hard to explain. People can chatter in between, and it's completely fine and just is a really light, easy game to bring. So the first one that I am mentioning is something that we've had great success in teaching to a lot of friends, which is Roll For It. Roll For It is a game where everyone gets a set of dice, and there are certain cards that you are trying to acquire based on what you roll your dice. So for instance, if one of the cards has 2 5s on it, you need to be able to roll 2 5s out of your stack in order to claim that card before somebody else does. And sometimes, the dice are with you, and sometimes they're just not.
All right, my first game that I'd like to talk about is a social deduction game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it requires a little bit of preparation, explaining to people to get them on board, and it's one night werewolf.
Okay,
Right.
great.
So where some people are werewolves, some people are villagers, some people are helping the werewolf, and it's a game where you close your eyes and you lie to each other, basically, to try to avoid being caught. That's one night werewolf.
Sometimes you lie, sometimes you don't lie.
Sometimes people think I'm lying when I'm not lying.
This is true. Okay, my next game is a game that my sister actually gave me, which is Cow, which is Quao. It's a game where you have a set of cards and you're trying to get rid of your hand. And you do this by telling um, maybe a secret about yourself, depending what the card is asking for, or by making sure that someone else has to do a certain action every single time, and then it becomes, as more and more cards are laid out, could become an engine builder. Or maybe if you do an action by mistake and you don't know you're not allowed to do it, you have to draw another card so your hand gets bigger.
The thing I like about that game is one of the players gets to be a cow,
Mm-hmm.
gets to be the king,
Mm-hmm.
and gets to know what the rules are,
Yeah,
but doesn't tell all the other players what the rules are.
right,
Unless they break the rule,
right.
just say you broke a rule, draw a card or something like that.
So you spend the game trying to figure out, well, what is the rule that I
Yeah,
broke and how do I not break it again? And while this is a great game that you can bring to a few people to play, I always thought that this would be a lot of fun to bring to a convention. And we each have a role that we need to play, but we don't share it with anyone. We're just playing the game the entire time.
that sounds like fun. Should do that. All right, my next game up is Dixit,
Oh, that's a
which
good
is a
one.
game of pictures,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you have cards with rather odd paintings on them,
Mm-hmm.
and someone will name a word or a couple of words, and you pick one of your cards that reminds you of that word.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody else has to do the same thing, and it's a guessing game where you try to guess which one was the original one that the person chose.
Mm-hmm.
You get some points if most of the people choose your card, but
Right.
not everybody.
That's the ideal situation.
And then
Almost but everyone.
you get points if people choose your card
Mm-hmm.
if you're not the speaker or the
Right. If
person
I
who's
can
trying to
convince
dice.
people
Yeah,
that I was actually, my card is the
yeah,
one that the active player described. Because you shuffle up all the cards and then you deal them out, and everyone is voting for who they think is the right one.
yeah. And the game is just so lovely looking
Mm-hmm.
with all the paintings, and they are so odd that it really sparks a lot of social discussion,
Mm-hmm.
and you can have fun with the game.
Yeah.
You don't have to be too serious about it,
Mm-hmm.
and I really love Dixit. It's a good for game nights.
I love that game. And the art is just, like you said, so beautiful. Okay, my next game that I am mentioning is Flux. And the reason why I think Flux is really good for a game night or a group is because there's so many themes that it comes in, and tend to find that people who own Flux tend to own more than one type of deck because each deck has got a different theme to it. So if somebody likes I don't know, zombies, and somebody else likes Alice in Wonderland, or somebody else likes math. I mean, there is a theme. I think we have like over 15 decks. So, and I know there's way more than that. It's a game where you have a bunch of cards and the goal can be changing. You can say, maybe I play a card that says the winner of the game is the person who has both milk and cheese. So everyone is trying to find the milk and the cheese in their hands so they can put it down and say they won. But then someone else might change the goal. I'm going to take that goal out, and instead it is going to be the person who has King Arthur and the Knight and the Round Table. And so now everyone's trying to find, do I have cards that will fill that? So it just depends on what your theme is, what you'll have.
I love all the Flux games.
Yeah, they're good. And they all play slightly differently, which I love.
My next game up is Dude.
Oh, dude.
Dude. So it's a very silly game, and you basically just sit around the table saying the word dude. Every player has their own little deck of cards.
Yeah.
And you draw one of your deck, and depending on what the words look like or the picture looks like, you just say the word dude in that way.
Right.
If it's really tiny letters, you might whisper dude, Or if it's a picture of a cowboy, you try to say dude like, I don't know how you'd say dude like a cowboy.
Yeah, you say dude like cowboy, and you can't use your hands.
Right.
This is just in the way that you would say this in your face or in your voice. And the thing is, if you think you match someone, you look at each other and you say, sweet. And if you're both right, you have to reveal your card. If you're both right, then you get that point. And if you're wrong, well, then you don't get the point.
And it's just a fun game. It's pretty ridiculous if you're playing it. It's even more ridiculous if you just walked in the room and other people are playing it.
Yes.
Because people are just sitting around the table going, dude,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun game.
So that's the game I had on there, dude.
Good. I almost put that down, and then I decided to replace it with something else. The next game that I am mentioning is Just One. And it is a great game where each player has got a dry erase easel, and the active player will put a card that has a secret word on it. Actually has a list, but you all agree on, like, are we going to do the number 3 word? Are we going to do the number 2 word? You all agree as a group what you're going to be doing. So you put the card in front of you so everyone else except you can see this word. Then the rest of the players are going to try and write a word to help me guess what that is. So it is a co-op game. And then the active player will close their eyes. Everyone reveals their easels to each other to see what that dry erase word was. And if 2 players or more match, that word is knocked out. So you want a unique word. And then when it's time, everyone turns their easels around, and then based on what everyone wrote, try and guess what the word is.
Yeah, it's a fun game because with some of the words, it's very obvious what the most obvious clue is.
Yeah.
But if no one person writes it, then you just end up with a bunch of obscure clues.
Which sometimes is okay too. I think that when I play, I try to go for not the most popular, definitely a more obscure word that people can guess, because I'm just so afraid that somebody else is going to guess my word. And sometimes that happens. Everyone went for the number 3 choice, and then you knock each other out that way.
All right, the next one on my list is Code Names.
Oh, good one.
And this is a word game where you have some cards on the table, and they all have words written on them.
Yeah.
And it's a team game. So one team versus the other team. Each team has a clue giver, and everybody else is trying to guess. So on a round, the clue giver has the key and knows which ones you want to guess right or turn over, and tries to get his or her team to guess those cards by giving a clue that ideally you want to get as many cards with one question as you can, but most of the time you just get one card or maybe 2.
And it's really, I think it's challenging to be the clue giver. Out of the grid of 25 cards, it could be that, I can't remember exactly, it could be like, I'm making this up, like 7 cards are mine. And I'm trying to get you to guess all 7. But some of them, if you guess that word, that wasn't it. It's like, well, unfortunately, that's neither a win nor a loss. So, but there's always one card, the assassin card, that you just do not want the other person, your team, to guess. And it's a great team game,
All right, so that's the code names.
All right. My last one is my number one game. Is that
What's your number one game?
are you down to your number one as well?
I'm down to my number one.
All
Why
right.
don't you tell me your number one?
My number one game is actually something you introduced me to. It is the Game of Things.
Game of Things.
Yes. So in this game, you have a topic, and everyone writes down their own answer, and you put the answers in the middle, and then you start drawing them, and you're trying to guess who said what. And it is a great way of getting to learn more about each other.
That's great. Man, my number one was just one.
Oh, was it really?
Which we already talked about.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's okay. I find maybe it's because we acquired it more recently, but we haul this out at a lot of group gatherings and parties. And everybody seems to like it.
Yeah.
Nobody says, I don't want to play this anymore. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to play it.
Everybody likes playing it, yeah.
All right. So that's our top 5 group and party games.
If you like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe. Let us know what your favorite party or group night games are. And until next time, I'm the Elusive Bigfoot.
And I'm Onezie.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.